Welcome everyone to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I am thrilled that we have Nathan here from lovely Sacramento, Northern California, and he's a multiple entrepreneur and involved in insurance brokerage. So, Nathan, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me. So a little bit about myself. I have a company right now, but I've been involved in mergers and acquisitions for a long time prior to that. So as I helped a large insurance company with that process, been through about 10 of those before I had the opportunity to acquire my first company and acquired that company several years ago. Exited that about a year ago and launched my own scratch company, startup company here. And yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Excellent, excellent. So what actually inspired you to start your own business in the first place and to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, there were a couple things that inspired me. First of all, is I've always had a drive for financial independence, for time independence, really that freedom aspect of it that I think a lot of entrepreneurs have is they want that better life for themselves and those around them. But the other aspect of it was I've had a lot of great bosses in my time. I've also had some not so great bosses. And when you go through those experiences and you see and you have a vision for how you could do it better, and it just is nagging at you. For me, that was really what drove me to make that leap at the end of the day was I wanted to make something better for myself, for the people that worked in that company, and then also for the community and the clients at large.
Okay, excellent. And then also you mentioned that you actually had a company, you exited that one. So how did you manage that in terms of like, did you plan to exit and then you're building towards that, or there was some other strategy? How did you, can you share that a little bit with us, please?
Yeah. So it was something that, yes, I actually, first of all, made the plan for it several years in advance. And then the process of it took longer than I had anticipated, but it took about 18 months from the time that I said, yes, I want to exit to actual exit. For me, the reason for the exit was it was just focused in something that I wasn't as passionate about, and I also didn't have as much control over. So I was really under the umbrella of a larger company, and they dictated the product, they dictated the service, they dictated everything. And so I didn't have the ability to craft the vision that I really wanted to do at the end of the day. In the end, it was a great learning experience and really got my feet wet as an entrepreneur, but it wasn't the freedom and the ability to, make something of my own vision at the end of the day. And so that's where I decided, hey, this wasn't what I wanted. So I built up to it, an area where I was happy to exit, and then had the platform and have the time, the resources, the runway to really build something from the ground up that is more in line with my vision.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, being an entrepreneur, obviously, we're all going through ups and downs. And so how are you dealing with the challenges and how do you keep going when things get tough?
Yeah, it's really difficult in the moment sometimes when there's a lot of drama and you're caught in the weeds of it. And for me, one of the things I find valuable is kind of taking a step back and figuring out what the outcome or what the bigger vision is. When I exited my company, it wasn't a smooth process. I'm not gonna, beat around the bush about it. And it didn't go the way that I wanted, but the greater vision was to exit that company and be able to have the platform to craft something that was really my passion, what I wanted to build at the end of the day. And so I kept that in mind throughout that process. And the other thing for me is there's somebody that I follow a little bit. His name is Keith Cunningham, and he has this idea of something called a dumb tax. And as entrepreneurs, we fail. We fail all the time, and we have so many lessons along the way. And by calling it a dumb tax, it puts a little humor in it. So you realize, hey, this is part of the process, and let's take a step back. And then B is taxes, everybody pays them, but we oftentimes don't want to overpay them, right? And the same thing with failures and lessons in business for myself is if I'm going to go through a situation, okay, I'm going to learn from it, but I don't want to have to pay that tax again. I don't want to have to go through and make that same mistake twice. And so by keeping that bigger vision in place and by keeping in mind that this is part of business, this is part of developing as an entrepreneur, for me, helps put that situation into perspective so that we can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And currently you're running the new company, the startup for insurance. Can you tell us a little bit more about like who do you help with this?
Yeah. So we just help businesses. We help we really have two divisions. We have a small business division and more of a middle market division. So companies from about 5 to 50 million about, and the small commercial, a lot of times those companies just need something a little bit different. They have more basic, simple needs. And it's really those middle market companies where they're not quite at the level of these large companies, these 100 million plus companies, and don't have the resources and the systems in place that they do. But they could. And so for those companies, really what we do is we help implement more risk management and as opposed to just insurance, but risk management where we're looking at a larger pie. We're not just looking at a single piece. And so we go into those companies, we do our baseline risk assessment, put a plan in place so that they can, at the end of the day, have more clarity and confidence in their program and really take back control of that program as opposed to feeling out of control and kind of at the whim of whatever the insurance company is going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, if someone wants to actually find out a little bit more about you and connect with you, find out more about your business as well, how they can do that?
Yeah, the best way is to go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. What we like to do there is, sure, we'll share some stories, some that we come across crazy situations all the time, and it helps other business owners feel better when they're going through that stuff. We also like to share more productive resources, whether that's something from a business coach or on the sales or marketing side. And then also the tools that we're developing, because we're developing tools to really take these systems that big businesses have and apply them to small and medium-sized companies to make that portion of their business really more cost effective, more time effective. So, and provide greater clarity at the end of the day as well. So our newsletters have that, and if they're interested in scheduling a time so we can do an assessment, one of the things that is more unique about the way that we like to approach it is we find that collaborations have the best impact on businesses at the end of the day. And there's this emerging thing in the financial services arena called the virtual family office. And so essentially it's taking the idea of a family office for ultra high net worth families and applying that to high net worth families. And so we're doing the same thing on the defense side for companies. You have your insurance, your risk management, your, legal, all of these different things that's on the defense side of a company, bringing those under one umbrella and being able to offer those on a single platform. So that's really stuff that we share on our newsletters and on our website.
Oh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. So I will share these links in the description also. And then what is one tip that you could give, sort of like to small to medium-sized companies about insurance that they can use going forward?
Yeah, one of the things that we've been really pushing forward is utilizing AI for insurance. And I know whether or not you're a small company or, even larger companies, and you get these documents, your policies, they're, 50, 80, 100 plus pages, and you're not going to read through them. You don't know what's in them, what's not in them, and they're very complicated legal contracts. And what AI, ChatGPT, or whatever your chosen platform is really good at doing is breaking that down into simple language. And so we have a program that we've done where you can just go and upload it directly and figure out, okay, what is my coverage for this? Are there any what they call exclusions, things that aren't covered that I should be aware of that are detrimental to my business? And so by asking it questions, it can really help provide simplicity and clarity in a very quick, timely manner. And so I think that's just one simple thing that a business, no matter what size, can easily do, and will have great advantages.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for that tip. Thank you
Yeah.
for being a guest here today as well. And thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. And see you in the next episode.